Hey, do you want to come out of manufactured religion that was constructed by the hands of man? Well, come on and follow me. Well, hello, sons. My name is Prophetess Keys Truth, the Minister Keisha, and welcome again to my podcast, Lit. So come on, let's get to the subject at hand about overthrowing this Babylon, this manufactured religion. So the lecture today will be called The Manufacture of Religion and the Rise of the Constructed Belief System. Good day, sons and seekers of truth. Today we will expose the deep roots of manufactured religion, man-made belief systems constructed not by divine inspiration, but by political power, deception, and spiritual rebellion. The Bible warns us repeatedly of counterfeit spiritual systems. So let's peel back the layers using Romans chapter 1, verse 18 to 23, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6 to 7, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 13, Daniel chapter 8, verse 12, and Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 5 to 7. This isn't a criticism of faith, but a confrontation with the system that has hijacked it. Part 1, the origin of the constructed religion, Romans 1, 18 to 23. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like corruptible men. Romans chapter 1, verse 18 to 23. Another version read, they exchanged the truth of God for a lie. Here Paul unveils the great exchange, divine truth for the human invention. The manufacturers knew the Most High, but rather than glorifying the invisible spirit, they created systems that reflected their own images and interests. This is the birth of constructed religion, where men mold God in their likeness, creating idols, rituals, and hierarchy, not ordained by the Spirit, but institutionalized by empires. This passage speaks of an intentional suppression of the truth. These builders of false religions didn't simply misunderstand, they chose darkness, erecting systems to control, not to enlighten. Part 2, Babylon, the blueprint of false systems. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6 through 7, and 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 13. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunk. Babylon made the whole earth drink its wine and drove them all mad. The church that is at Babylon, elect together with you, salutes you. It's telling us that Babylon here, Peter was saying he was in Rome, but he used the code word Babylon for the word Rome. For at that time in the New Testament, the Roman system had taken over the construct that they had created from the Greeks. Babylon is the mother of the manufactured religion. She offers a golden cup, shiny, alluring, full of intoxicating doctrine. Many drank and become drunk, not with wine, but with the confusion, tradition, and dogma. The system of Babylon is not just ancient, it is a spiritual living on through empires and institutions still to this day. Peter uses the word Babylon symbolically for Rome, the empire that merges paganism with Christianity, constructing a religious machine. This machine didn't preserve the teachings of the Messiah, it rebranded them, and many still drink from her cup today, mistaking rituals for righteousness. Part 3, the host and the truth cast down. In Daniel 8 and 12, And a host was given him, and it cast down truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. At this time, this system was in the hands of the Greek, which was one of the ones that began to create this system, this manufactured religion called Babylon, with their god Serapis, which became Zeus, which became Jesus. This is a prophecy of religious power masquerading as godly authority. It receives permission not from heaven, but from history to rise and dominate spiritual understanding. Notice the pattern. It casts truth to the ground and prosper. Lies sell. Systems built on manipulation are profitable financially, politically, and socially. Remember, I told you once before in another teaching that politics and religion are the Antichrist, because it keeps you from looking within and becoming the Christ that you are, or recognizing the Christ that you are. The truth is not always popular. Manufactured religion repackages it into something pliable, manageable, and profitable. This system has hosts, leaders, priests, and prophets who enforces its authority, often with violence or shame. Part 4, a work you wouldn't believe. Habakkuk 1 verse 5 through 7 tells us, "For I will work a work in your days which you will not believe. I will raise up the Babylonians, the bitter and hasty nation, and they will go around the world and do what they like, and they will conquer all nations." Habakkuk 1 verse 5 through 7 tells us this, that how God allowed this to happen to us, allowed this system to overtake us, but now it's time for us to wake up. God allows empires like Babylon, the Chaldeans, to rise for his purpose. But here's the mystery. The same system that seems victorious is also under judgment. People wouldn't believe it even if told. Why? Because we often mistake religious success for divine approval. But the Babylonians, like many religious empires, were bitter and swift, consuming nations and reshaping belief systems or spiritual systems with what we call church today. Is often the results of their conquest, not Christ's command. So the conclusion or call to action. So what do we do in this age of manufactured belief? We return to the spirit. We return to knowing thyself. We enter back in. And we unlearn Babylon. We put on the new wineskins that we may receive the new wine. And we allow ourselves to be born again. Jesus told Nicodemus to throw off that mind you once had to receive this new way of the true way of thinking. We come out, unlearn Babylon. We come out from her, among her, as Jeremiah cried out. Flee from the midst of Babylon. This constructed religion will always seek to package the divine in dogma, but the spirit is not a product. God cannot be boxed in a building, worn on a collar, or owned by any institution. Let the truth that was once cast down rise again in you. It's time to know thyself as God having a human experience, because you are not the follower of any religion. You are the temple. You are the temple of the living God. And it's time for us, sons of God, to awaken back to this reality. It's time to know ourselves. It's very pivotal in this time, because the scriptures is telling us that if we don't, we're going to reincarnate back to this place. And for those who don't want to reincarnate, which we're going to at another time, it's time to awaken to know thyself as God. This is only a movie. You're not guilty of anything. This is only an experience. God is pretending to be each and every one of us. He has poured, or she has poured his spirit in essence in all of our mortal bodies to cause them to be alive, for the lack of a better word. It's on the tip of my tongue what I want to say, but the lively beings to be animated. That's what I'm looking for. And that's where, it's roll your boat gently down the stream. But it's time for me to get off here. I want you to like and subscribe to this channel. I hope you got something out of this teaching. Ask any questions if you need. And just come on and wake up and overthrow Babylon from your mind. It's time to wake up in this age of Aquarius before you die, people.